In a matriarchal community, the clans enjoy perfect mutuality. Every relative advantage or disadvantage in terms of acquiring goods is mediated by social guidelines. For example, at the seasonal festivals of the agricultural year, clans that are comparatively better off will invite all the inhabitants to be their guests. The members of such a clan organize the banquet, the rituals, and the music and dances of one of the annual festivals. Oh, thank you, Lydia. And then give away their goods as gifts to all their neighbors. By doing this, they gain nothing except honor. At the next festival in the cycle, another lucky clan will step up, outdoing itself by inviting everybody in the village or neighborhood, entertaining them all and dispensing presents. Since this is a general attitude, matriarchal economy can be called a gift economy, in the true sense as Genevieve Vaughan has defined it. It is the economic manifestation of maternal values which prevents development of an exchange economy with the accumulation of goods in the hands of the few. Instead, it fully achieves a gift economy. Due to these features, matriarchies can be defined on the economical level as societies of economic reciprocity based on the circulation of gifts. Now let's have a look on the political level. Here, the people follow the principle of consensus, which means unanimity regarding each decision. To manifest a principle like this in practice, a society must be specifically organized to do so. And matrilineal kinship lines are, once again, the starting point. The basis of each decision-making is the individual clan house. Matters that concern the clan house are decided upon by the women and men in a consensus process, of which the matriarch is the facilitator. Each person has only one vote, even the matriarch, and no member of the household is excluded. The same applies to decisions concerning the whole village or town. The clan delegates meet together in the village council, but do not make decisions themselves. They simply communicate the decisions that have been made in their clan houses and move back and forth until a consensus decision is reached by the whole village. The same applies on the regional level. The delegates move between the local council and the regional council back and forth until consensus of all villages and towns of this area is reached. This needs a wonderful and perfect organization of councils to do this, and they have it. The origin of the politics is in the clan houses, where the people live. And in this way, a true grassroots democracy is put into practice. So we can define matriarchies on the political level as egalitarian societies of consensus. This clearly shows how maternal values also permeate political practice. But such a societal system as matriarchy could not function as a whole without a deep, supporting and all-permeating spiritual attitude. At the spiritual and cultural level, matriarchal societies do not have hierarchic religions based on an omnipotent but invisible male god, a miracle god. In matriarchies, divinity is immanent, for the whole world is regarded as divine, as feminine divine. the great Mother Nature. This is evident in the widely held concept of the universe as a great goddess who brought forth everything by birth, and of the earth as the great mother who created everything living. And for everyone and everything, is endowed with divinity by virtue of being a child of the great Mother Nature. In such a culture, everything is spiritual. In the festivals which follow the cycle of the seasons and the cycle of life, everything is celebrated. There is no separation between the sacred and secular, therefore everyday tasks also have ritual significance. In this sense, matriarchal societies are sacred ones. We can see here that the entire societies are constructed in the image of the creative Mother Nature. Mother Nature is our teacher, as the Minangkabau of Sumatra say. This divine mother is reflected in every woman's being and in her abilities to create. Every social, economic, and political action is informed by the principle of the world's all-encompassing maternal attitude. Therefore, on the cultural level, I define matriarchies as sacred societies and cultures of the divine feminine or goddess. Methodologically, it is important to note that matriarchal societies today have gone through many changes. After a long history of struggling to defend their ancestral cultures, and now threatened by increasing pressure from their patriarchal surroundings, they have changed in many aspects. And most of them are in danger to break down completely. This is why it is so crucial to consult the histories of their cultures in order to obtain a more adequate understanding of their matriarchal character. And now I would like to show you some pictures of women of matriarchal societies. This is an Iroquois woman in her traditional costume. And on the right side you see a Hopi grandmother. A Hopi grandmother is a grandchild weaving a basket. Next. This is a market of the women of Juchitán, a city of 10,000 inhabitants, who foster since very old times matriarchal patterns. You see, it's not only a matter of villages, also towns and cities can have a matriarchal society. These are women of the Tuareg, and the Tuareg are pastoral nomadic societies, and they are matriarchal. Next picture, this is a queen mother of the Akan, who is teaching her daughter sacred and magical signs, which she is drawing on her silver throne. Next one. Here you see the Khasi women with a harvest. The Khasi living out northeastern India. The last one, these are Mozo women in Western China dancing, and here with the Mozo women I did research, I did ethnographic research. I know them quite well, and I'm always happy when I can invite Mozo women to a conference. These were the people I could ask directly. These are the people. All right. These are only some examples. There are many more, but I will not make it longer. I describe them in my book, Matriarchal Societies, Studies on Indigenous Cultures Across the Globe, as far as I could find them in each continent, but I'm sure there are still some or several or even many more which could be found out and described and invited. Now my third point. I'll speak about the recent development of modern matriarchal studies. Why do I call it modern matriarchal studies? I was well aware that the discussion on matriarchy had a long tradition in German-speaking Europe, going back as far as to the famous work of Backofen, Myth, Religion and Mother Right, which came out in 1861. It represents a perfect parallel to the work of Henry Louis Morgan in the field of anthropology, who did research on the matriarchal society of the Iroquois of his time in 1851. It's pretty early. These are the pioneers of matriarchal studies. For more than a century, the discussion on mother right and matriarchy continued. The subject now was used and abused by all the intellectual schools of thought and all political parties, each with its distinctly different point of view. What worried me most about this reception of Bachofen's and Morgan's ideas was the complete lack of a clear definition of the matter at hand. And furthermore, the huge amount of emotion and ideology that was involved in the discussion. This combination of unclear definitions and excessive emotionality continued till today. After these insights, I decided, building on the foundation of my philosophical tools, to give the matriarchal studies, that is, the research into all forms of non-patriarchal societies in both past and present, a modern scientific foundation. That means, first, the formulation of an increasingly precise definition of matriarchy, one that outlines the deep structure of this form of society, which I just gave to you. Second, the development of a methodology capable to adequately presenting the area under investigation. In this case, matriarchal societies. This was also a lack in the former matriarchal studies or research. Third, the development of a theoretical framework that encompasses the vast historical and geographic extent of matriarchal social forms. This was necessary because clearly formulated, consistent theories are highly efficient intellectual tools, which can be used by all interested researchers. Nothing is so practical as a good theory. For with a good theory, you can put things together which have never before been seen together, and then you can put new things together. So they're very practical. In that way, modern matriarchal studies came into being, in contrast to the traditional research on matriarchal societies, which was mostly done by men and by bourgeois men. From the very start, modern matriarchal studies have required an additional method, the radically critical analysis of patriarchy. This is lacking with all the former traditional matriarchal research by men.